Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is when I think atheists don't see that there's a soul involved, and committing these deviant acts starts to remove your soul from your existence. And when you start thinking that everything's okay, just because like you can justify it in a debate or something, there's some things that are just inherently wrong because deep down we know it. I think a lot of people even know this stuff without religion, but these are just wrong without debate, without discussion.
Sure, and
I
I mean,
think
like,
stuff
I
like this you could
understand.
just point blank period say this is wrong.
Yeah, and I understand you think that, but the problem is at the end of the day, you're not even relying on your actual intuitions. You're going by the weird religious ones. At the very
No,
least,
that's
like,
not even before
sure,
my reversion to Islam. I would tell you the same thing.
that's
Like
fine.
I
On
was an
my,
atheist, like I was a
yeah,
Reddit atheist too, and I would have said the same thing. Like no, is wrong, and like why it just is. There's
gotcha.
some things that are
Sure,
that just
and
are
that's
wrong.
great. That's fine. I would rather use moral intuitions and reasoning to try to avoid harm for people, right? Like you can sit here and be like, "Oh my God, you feel this way about bestiality and incest and blah blah blah," but I think that the way that your movement views women is disgusting. Like it's worse than any amount of dog or mother son when they're both 30 or 40 years old could ever be, the way that you guys view and treat women. So, but I mean, like, you have like your feelings for that and you think it's all internally justified and the souls have men over women, blah, well, that's
Do you
fine.
see how
I mean, that's your thing.
you just
Wait,
equated men leading in a relationship, a red pill relationship to bestiality?
Hold on. I'm not equating any. What do you think equating means?
You're comparing it, and you're saying that it's equal and that one
Hold
thing
on.
is worth.
What do you think comparing means? Do you think comparing means equating? Why would you
Well,
compare two things that are equal?
fine, maybe that wasn't the perfect word, but that it's insane to me.
It's not the
Oh
perfect
my
word.
God.
You're pivoting. No. The problem is you can't engage with what I'm
You
saying.
pivoted from bestiality
No,
to red
I
pill
didn't
relationships.
pivot. I showed you that you feel incredibly comfortable in your moral reasoning because of souls or intuition or whatever. And what I'm saying is I have other moral reasoning that takes that has a huge problem with some things you say about like women. You're sitting here focused on questions that don't really matter. And
Bestiality
animals?
doesn't matter?
No, how many people are animals in the world? No, that doesn't really matter. But things like how we treat women, how
It's
we
not-
set
it's
up
not about-
relationships,
it's not how many
those things
people
are
do it.
way more. No, it is about how many people
No,
do it.
it's
It's
not.
way more important.
You know,
Yeah.
it's about the mindset of accepting that and accepting all types of sexual deviance. That's the biggest thing, where we start to accept everything, and then the floodgates open, and then society crumbles.
Sure, and I
if
think
if you think it's okay
Uh-huh.
to have a dog, then everything starts to crumble after that. This is it's not. You shouldn't even have to bring up statistics. Like if people start to believe that things like this are okay, everything falls apart.
And it's funny because the thing that has led us into the first world hasn't been the reduction of. It's been treating women like people. That's been the thing that's moved us into this world. So the ways that we view women and the ways that they move in society have been far more instrumental in getting us to where we are now than strong stances on, which are niche issues that very few people actually care about.
No, the difference is we used to believe that men and women had different roles, that women were supposed to be at home raising the children. And now you're saying that treating women like people is treating them exactly the same as men, and that it doesn't matter who protects and provides, a woman can protect, because like how many scenarios are that going to happen? But ultimately we are different by design. God created us differently.
If a woman wants to avoid harm, what's like the number one thing she should do?
She should find a man who's going to be able to protect her.
Wrong. If a woman wants to avoid harm, she should be a lesbian, because the most likely person that's ever going to hurt you as a woman is your significant other. So you're defeated by the very thing you're saying. When you say men exist to protect women from who? Not from other women, it's from other men. So even your point doesn't make sense, right? It's not about treating women and men as equal. It's about granting them the same autonomy and letting them make the choices in society that are the healthiest for them, that they want to do the most. And when you leave these options up to women, then they start working more, they do other things, and your society gets better. Look at every single industrialized country in the world. One of the hallmarks of success is usually women getting to vote, women having access to reproductive control, and women working jobs. It's like the best thing for your economy.
Okay. If you think that, but
I mean, it's not that I think it. It's just that's like the reality of the world. Every single successful country you're in, one of your biggest markers for economic development is whether or not women are working and have access to reproductive control, or are they just like slaves that are baby makers.
We're seeing all these countries that allow all this stuff and believe in all this feminist lie. We're seeing them all crumble in real time, and we're seeing
Who's
them burn in the past couple of years. France is crumbling right now, one of the wokest countries in the world. 3 years ago, we saw all of America burn, cities burn because of all the BLM.
Yeah, so
look,
wait.
Countries where there's Sharia law, countries where there's Sharia law, and we say like, okay, not everything is up to the individual person based on whether they want to do it. There's some things that should be taboo, and we should not be allowed to do because it's better for everybody else. It's better because of basic morality. Those countries end up surviving. Those countries
end up surviving.
The countries with the top 3 lowest crime rates are all Middle Eastern countries.
That's
all
great.
Muslim
And
countries.
who invented the microprocessor? Who gave us YouTube and Facebook? Who landed on the moon? Who runs the world economy and world trade? Who dictates policy to every other free nation on the planet? Who donates more to, it's not countries with Sharia law. And those countries Sharia law can only do because they're sitting on mountains of oil, right? You don't exist without the United States, and I don't either. And you're trying to give me this idea well, Sharia law is good because we can make some women wear hijabs, and that's your marker for success?
You're saying no, my marker for
also France has
my
violent
marker of success is happiness.
France has a whole history of violent protests. That's what they do. They kill their
kings.
They set their shit on fire.
Has nothing to do. You see, you started bringing up all this and everything that happens to do with industrialized society and the invention of technology and trade. That's not how I mark a happy society. The ultimate goal is happiness, right? These things that your technological developments and stuff like that, you could argue that it's actually hurt happiness quite a bit. That isn't the ultimate marker of success, and I didn't argue for that at all.
How are you finding happiness right now? You're getting on airplanes manufactured by Western technology on your cell phone, blogging, probably made by Apple or Google, it's uploading into social media networks that are ran by microprocessors, probably in an Amazon warehouse. Every single part of your life that you're enjoying right now, the women you can reach out to, the adventures you're having, all the learning that you're doing, this conversation you're having right now is built off of Western technology, not Sharia law.
I use the technology that's here, but ultimately what makes me happy is my connection with God, is my relationships with people, is my relationships with my family.
Then go do ayahuasca. Brazil and go crawl into the jungle
ayahuasca
for 7
has
years
nothing
and
to do with it. That's some ayahuasca.
Is that
all
demonic
that
now
hippie
too?
stuff.
Okay.
That's the argument that you're making for. That's not what makes me happy. Those things obviously are fun and they give me access to people and I'm taking advantage of the industrialized society. But that's not what makes people happiest. It's its connection with the higher power.
Okay. I mean, that is one aspect, but I mean, loving God while you're starving or you don't have a computer can kind of suck in some countries. I think that all of the things that modern technology affords us, I think is really cool. I think that, and not just cool in I'm browsing TikTok all day kind of way, but cool in that if I'm on an episode of Fresh and Fit with you, that can only happen in the United States, right? You're some Haitian immigrant. I'm half Cuban. Myron is knows where all these different people are brought together by all the traveling, all the technologies, all the thing in the country that makes that possible. It's only happening in the United States, right? Even in Dubai, where all that is happening now, it's people from the U.S. going there.
My morality, my decisions, what I do. All they do is criticize my morality, my decisions, what I do. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna constantly do that, say I'm not gonna be able to get married, say that I'm a fake Muslim, say that I'm drinking, say that I'm a liar, all this stuff. What the is going on with your life? I called out Aiden today too. I could be drinking and gambling. I'm in the gym. I'm actually doing the self-improvement thing. I'm actually quitting things. I'm actually praying. Destiny, I'm actually working on becoming the best man I could possibly be so I can raise a family, so I can get married. These things are extremely important to me. So if you're going to criticize that, what are you doing? What else is going on? Yeah, so there's...
The issue with and I understand what... hold on. I'm trying to treat him like this is an intellectual argument and not just an emotional outburst. But it's just an emotional outburst. I think the reason why I'm so critical of sneako is because he uses and abuses the people in his life, and then he does it in haram ways because he just wants credit. So, for instance, sneako wants to get all the credit from being Muslim. He wants to get all the social validation and all that from being pure and chaste and holy or whatever. Why does he still have girls on his stream? Why is he in the background with 2 girls laying on him making out? The answer is because he still desperately craves that validation that he gets from other men when women are validating him in the space, right? You don't need to do that. There's no point. If you really truly believed about the Muslim, if you really truly believe about like that, why are you trying to show off women? That's not, is it halal? That's not holy. That's not chaste. That's not good, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just if somebody makes mistakes, here's something that so this is what I don't like. Here's what I don't give sneako for. And I've heard these rumors a lot, and apparently Aiden repeats them. I hear a lot that sneako gets caught slipping when he's out, when he's drinking. And I don't know if that's true or not. But also if he legitimately makes a mistake and has a drink and he's off stream or something, you know what? Nobody's perfect. I wouldn't expect sneako to be perfect. The issue I have is when he's desperately trying to collect social clout from both sides of an issue. You can't do that. And I don't think anybody should abide that. I think you should be called out for that. If you want to be Muslim and you want to be holy and not haram and all that, then fine. But don't brag or show off. Don't brag or show off like girls on your stream. That's haram. That's not good. Yeah, it's just not good. And then having friends close by in your life who are also doing that, like having Zerka, like trashing women in front of you and all that. That's another thing that will always bother me so much. And again, nope, hold on, sorry. I was going to qualify that. I won't qualify that. A good conservative man, Melina actually said this perfectly to the MLD guy. Hey, you said you're a high-value man. Why are you on women? Why are you calling women fat? If you're a good conservative man, you respect women, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be in the presence of somebody. You wouldn't have a close friend like that who's just constantly degrading and screaming at women and calling them and joking about 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, constantly doing that over and over and over and over again without ever calling him out or holding him to task. And he doesn't. Sneako will never call Zerka out because Zerka is the strong man in the room that he's looking to emulate, that he's like imprinted on right now. But like, why would you let him get away with that over and over and over again? I don't know why. Yeah, well, I know why. And the reason why is because like there's not very much conviction behind this particular belief system. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not really, I guess it's a weird thing.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.